Hi, I'm the Space Quest Historian, and welcome back to our playthrough, well, watch-through, really, of Phantasmagoria. Joined, I am, once again, in my Yoda voice, by Natalie Juhasz, also known as Rizulka. So close, I can see it in her face. That is not Juhasz. I will get it if...
Juhasz.
Juhasz. I has,
yeah, exactly.
We all
Just remember that and go with the Haas bit.
Yeah. I will do my best. By the end of this playthrough, I will have gotten that name. Also, on the horn is Richard Cobbett, famed man of mystery.
Hello.
So good to be back with the both of you. Now, before we start, I don't know if anyone noticed, but we did have some connection problems last time, some technical problems. We couldn't quite hear each other, and my voice was doing what we over in Backseat Designerland like to call daft punking, which is when the voice breaks up and the connection fucks up so badly that my two co-conspirators here couldn't actually really hear what I was saying. But we seem to have worked out the kinks, and we are ready to present to you episode 2 of the best Roberta Williams has to offer. Are you guys excited?
Yes!
Natalie's making a hell no face. There we are. Welcome to Nipawamwam.
Nipawamset.
Or Nipperset, as I like to just call it.
Can I say that that's my favourite actor in the entire game?
Yes.
It's like I really believe
so
that
lifelike,
performance.
believable. Yes.
I wonder
I
what
don't
they
like
did to
Adrian.
that poor dog to make him just stand there and bark all day. I know it's a looping animation, but still.
They just have told him you're in Phantasmagoria, that it's just trying to escape. Like, no!
Wait, I never noticed his last name before. Worm Shadow.
Yeah, Worm Shadow. That is
Malcolm
weird.
Worm Shadow.
And why is Roberta Williams
teleporter.
mailing this guy? Because that
Dear
was...
Mr. Worm Shadow, please
I
help
don't
me write
like
a
your
horror
name.
story.
I have this game I would like you to be in. No, I have no desire to fuck. That was my Worm Shadow.
I have a slight
possessed.
problem in that I want to write a horror game, but I've clearly never watched a horror movie in my entire life. Please help me.
Yes.
Well, hello there, little lady.
I also have a problem with mic setups, especially boom mics.
Yeah, are you Bob Tompkins?
There's a lot of echo in this dude's room.
Wait,
the last time I
seriously,
took a
has
look?
she never met this man before? This is the part, it's like he...
My husband bought a
Where did
house
they
from me.
buy this house from?
And can I just point out, guest starring Satan?
Yes. And a fish in the corner. I think it was just implied that Don took care of all of the house purchasing things, which is
Asshole.
kind of weird.
No, a man of wealth and taste.
Yes.
His name is Asshole.
I mean, I don't know how you guys
That's
would
my
react, but
favorite
if I came home, let's just imagine that I was married to either Richard or Natalie, and I went home and said, "Darling, I have bought a new house. It is a gigantic haunted mansion in the ass end of nowhere. Let's go." It's like not even a question. Just I've bought the house.
I
we're
would be
moving.
okay with this as long as you promise there were no homeless people living in the barn.
It's carnival.
But that seems very unlikely to happen.
Oh, there is no way that would ever
Your
happen.
husband was that photographer.
Why is it so echoey in there?
He made me an offer I couldn't refuse. Money.
This is the thing about this place. It doesn't look like it has a back room. It just looks like this is the only room, and yet he hasn't put much in here. So of course it's echoing.
It's very echoey, and this is
I'm an novelist.
this is the entire room. When you see it from other angles, that's also it. He just lives in this tiny little room with his fish on the wall and his
Have you
one
read the book
cigar
about
that's
Lily
never lit.
Rising?
Do you think the 3D artist was proud of this room?
I'm not surprised.
I don't know.
It's like, you know, I spent ages trying to find the perfect wallpaper and decided 1970s.
But it also kind of looks like corrugated iron walls as well. It's not a good coloured stripe pattern. Look at that, it blends into the couch! Adrian, get out of the way! It blends into the couch!
Speaking of the Billy Bass fish on the wall, have you seen that someone's apparently rigging
something.
Amazon Alexa to that? so that it can answer all of your questions and take instructions.
Are you sure you gave my husband all
It turns out the
code
fish
about-
on the
I'm
wall is
serious!
also sexist.
There seem to be some locked doors.
Yes, she does have that serious stance going
But if
on.
you don't believe me, why don't you just check
Actually,
this
just
out?
for the sake of people watching this who have no idea what the fuck is going on, obviously you can't hear what's going on in the game because even when the game is turned up to full volume, it is impossible to hear what they're saying. We need the key. Basically, this entire thing is to just establish that one, the he's not a landlord, he's a real estate agent. Yes, the real estate agent is a sexist asshole, as they all are, apparently, and we need a master key.
All the keys, huh? What's this?
And I will just also say that was very trusting of him to like just let her go over to his file cabinet and go through it.
Yes.
She could have picked up a key from another estate.
There's here is the key that I wanted.
Yes,
And you've given it to him. I would like it back now.
And the reason the
That
scene was
was
so long is because that he spent an awful lot of time going, "Little lady, please, there is no key. Why would you think there's a key?" And then you go over
That
to the
was
file.
attempted sexual harassment, and I apparently do have to take it.
And you go over to the file and there's this big fucking key just stuck to the page. It's almost as big as the file itself. And go, "What about this thing?" Oh.
Meanwhile, the doorbell continues to be very objectionable.
Yes, we have seen the broom.
Yes, it's still my house.
But there's
I
a
regret
choir
nothing.
hanging out. So, and the choir is really having a whale of a time.
I really want to consummate some Ferrari.
Yes, don't we all? Also, this angle
It's
is
the only song you
weird.
need.
I mean, doesn't this look like the door just goes on for miles?
Yeah.
Some of the angles in this game. Also, right now, I think when you cross over to the fireplace, which I will in just a second, it just breaks the 180-degree rule an awful lot. It does that several times during the game. You walk into a scene, the camera is at one end, and so you instinctively move the mouse over to the corner where you want to go next, and then the camera just flips 180. So now you're clicking
Well,
back
it's
where you
like
came
it's
from.
like in the main hall. It's like the camera angles from Alone in the Dark. It's like, you know, we'll put them wherever.
Yeah, exactly.
Women were
And poor fucking dude who had to set up the real camera for the actors because he's looking at these 3D renderings from the art department going, "You want the camera where?" Like that,
Yeah.
just walking through the door there. Okay, there's one dude holding a camera very, very steady, trying not to drop it on Adrian's head.
I mean, the guys I feel sorry for were the Gabriel Knight artists. It's like, yeah, here are some postcards from Munich. Make them into game backgrounds.
And what they did was just slap Photoshop filters all over it.
It worked.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So
That
now
meant something to me,
yes,
apparently.
it defined the
Because
title
women
of
were
the game.
swooning.
Yes.
I'm just going to go and stand over here.
Oh, she loves to stand.
Oh,
Oh, the phone's ringing again.
Yes, this piece of music really just bothers the hell out of me, and it's just because I hate the sound of a phone ringing.
Yeah.
I never do phone calls really unless
Answer
I
it.
absolutely have to. So it messes
That's
with my
insanity
head.
calling.
and can I point out that this is such an awesome writer's room, and
Yes.
still she leaves her laptop upstairs in the bedroom. Like, no, this will be mine. You know,
Well,
it's
you
like
know,
as soon as I sort of saw this, it's like I will timeshare with the demon, but I'm writing my books here now.
Yes.
Well, I'd say that's what she should move it down here because it was locked before, so she didn't know what was in there.
While traveling through Egypt.
But-
There is that, but
She
I
leaves
would.
it upstairs.
The first thing I would do is not go around poking in desk drawers. It would to get my brick of a laptop and move it down here. As Richard said, this is a lovely room, and you know, there's. I think actually the sound you hear, the phoning, the ringing sound, is the demon next door going, "Are you gonna let me out soon?" Which is the only
No,
distraction.
it's just the demon. It's just the demon on his iPhone. It's like kind of, oops, new mail.
Yeah, sorry I haven't rang you back. Still trapped in this fucking. What
My
a
dear
box.
Marie, I still write far too large. Luckily, it will make it much easier if anyone ever films this.
And thankfully, this letter also includes narration, like automatic narration. Once you open it, it just reads itself.
Well, it's the new Amazon thing. You get the Audible version for free.
Well, you kind of hope that, you know, that they're going to read it out because you can barely read most of this letter. These are really badly framed if someone actually wants to read what they've...
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I agree, and and the game does this a dozen of times as well, and it pisses me off. One thing, there's no closed captioning, so you really have to strain your ears, especially as a little foreign kid.
In this case, there is closed captioning.
Yeah, it's really close, though. Like, absolutely close.
The trouble I always have with... Sorry, the trouble I always have with that kind of scene is that there was an old... I think it was Lee and Herring sketch, where people... It's about like sort of famous people writing letters to each other, and it seems like, oh, my darling, I have missed you so much. I cannot wait for your touch, to see your face, to hear the sumptuous sound of your voice. And then all of them end with, I am wanking as I write this. And every time I sort of see someone like reading the letter kind of in close up like that in this game, I just kind of keep on expecting to tack that onto the end.
It would make the game a lot more interesting. I think there should have been an Easter egg. We've already got the poop Easter egg. There should be an ending where each letter from, Zoltan's wives. Oh dear, I am so afraid that I'm going to be captured and Zoltan is in one of his moods again. I am wanking as I write this. Sincerely.
But, because what I was going to mention... Yeah, also, no, I was just going to...
This takes so fucking long. Yeah. And let's try something else. And
yeah, anyway, so what I was going to mention was that, like, only a month later after...
it's a letter opener!
It's clearly not. That's a kitchen knife.
That's a cat.
I have to speed this up. It just takes forever. Yes, please, carry on.
Yeah, okay, so, but only a month after Phantasmagoria came out, Shivers came out. Shivers has closed captioning on it. But it also allows you to read the letters fully because they've got the entire thing on there. But it has the worst fucking handwriting ever. It's just like, I was trying to like read it out and just being like, what is this word? Like, it's got so many loops in it.
If you want an even worse one, Realms of the Haunting, which is a game I love dearly. I adore Realms of the Haunting.
Yes, I've seen your 9-hour video on it.
You're about the only one.
Hey.
No, because it's a fairly low resolution game, whenever you find letters, and they're all kind of on very textured paper and very faded ink, and you have to kind of scroll around it because the resolution is too low to have it all on the screen at once, and it's just so hard to read. And so sometimes it's maps to mazes, and sometimes it's letters, but there
are a couple of games where you just go, we really shouldn't have done this in 320 by 200 because you're doing this quill writing kind of thing, and it's just completely unreadable. And there's a password I need later in the game. Why is it printed on this? Yeah. Plot. A plot is happening. A plot is.
Oh yeah, we should admire the plot.
Yes.
We should admire the bloody big diary.
The complete Harry Potter.
Yes. The complete Hitchhiker's Guide.
Based on the font on it,
or
that
a single volume of Game of Thrones.
Wow.
Yes. I mean,
family tree.
I think with what Rizolka was saying, with the font size that big, this is the easy reading kind of. Also, if it can do that, why can't it just like pop the lid and just lift that book off of it? It's not that heavy.
Yeah.
Also, the actual book, the book that was described in the letter we talked over recently, Zoltan the Magician picked up this nasty satanic book and went all giddy-giddy-yay. Where is that book?
That one. It's his family tree, isn't it?
Yeah, because this huge book here is just his family tree, isn't it?
Yeah, because that's a box. That's not a book.
Yeah, that's the box with the demon in it. Spoiler, but there it is. Oh. There's the demon.
Slimer!
Oh, Slimer! Good to see you.
I've got it in my eye.
Well, that's not worth referring to or worrying about at all.
No. Also, the demon,
oh my god, I'm gonna get out of Phantasmagoria!
Oh, goddammit! I love how the ghost, who must be familiar with the house by now, just went up into the ceiling, went, oh fuck, I can't go through here, and then went actually through the hole that she just made in the stairs and all that.
Don is dead!
Don is dead. Game over.
I got excited.
We can go home.
Are you okay, honey?
Don, you weren't just taken over by a misogynistic demon or something, were you?
Oh, hell no, honey. No, honey. But is it just me, or is there a lot more echo in this room now?
Oh god, this is your hair. I was hoping this would be.
He does have amazing 90s.
It's funny because, like, so originally we didn't have Phantasmagoria in Australia. It was banned.
Yes.
We can talk about why it was banned later. But we had the trailer for Phantasmagoria on the Gabriel Knight 1 CD. And I thought it was a completely different game from what it ended up being. I thought it was kind of like the island of Dr. Brain, but so that, you know, like Adrian, like Don had been stolen, and Adrian had to go through all like the puzzles on the island to find you. And I think that might have been a better game from what we got.
Kind of like a seventh guest romp.
That would have made
it's
like the castle of Dr. Brain, except evil.
What would you like?
Yes.
Well, isn't that basically what Shivers turned into? I mean, I've never actually played Shivers, but that sounds like a seventh guest / Phantasmagoria hybrid.
That sounds good.
I would say that what's it called? The Island of Dr. Brain has much more varied puzzles than Shivers.
Okay. Never played that one either. I suck at puzzles.
Camera angles too.
The reason we're actually watching Phantasmagoria now is because I suck at puzzles so badly, I had to play a game that has virtually no puzzles in it.
Well, I mean, technically, you can finish Phantasmagoria without doing a single puzzle. So the title screen lets you skip right to the end.
Yes, that is true. They really wanted you to...
I get straight to the greatest song ever.
Yes, the ending song. Did you also notice, when I was recording this, my mouse kind of hovered over the quit button, but...
The quit button, yeah, so tantalizing.
One thing which you probably haven't recorded, but I thought was hilarious. Actually, I'll just wait till the intro's over.
Yeah, the intro's going to take a while with this frame rate. And that is not my computer staggering through it. That is actually the frame rate of this opening animation. Which now gets a little
just
bit.
Look at that! How do you work on that thing?
In here, in the bedroom.
We are now witnessing
You need a second screen tapped into that higher up. If you're going to keep it as a laptop.
Adrian!
It's not even on!
Buy a proper laptop!
Buy a typewriter,
Adrian, get a typewriter!
Yeah, exactly.
Did you go buy
So what?
like I asked you?
And please, how can how can anyone sleep in this room while she's clacking away on that thing? It's louder
I
than
asked you several
Richard's keyboard,
times to go
which
buy
is
me
pretty
drain
loud,
cleaner.
by the
Did
way.
you do it?
Also,
Don, your eyes are cold and our love is old. Where did we go so wrong?
Something like that.
You know, this is just like you.
I'm just thinking about like the design of that bed again. I know it, like, I keep going on about how it's pointed into the corner, but it's obviously one of the beds from the house. So who was sleeping in this bed?
I don't understand.
Because we know Marie had her own bedroom and Kano had his own bedroom.
I think this was the guest bedroom. They've actually moved into the guest bedroom. I don't know why you would have a guest bedroom in that haunted mansion, but still, they had a.
Well, I mean, you've got to invite people to kill them.
Yes,
But
exactly.
look at how fancy the canopy is on that.
I mean, would you want to sleep in the main room with like the giant picture of Kano kind of staring down at you?
Yeah, and also the
Well,
grabbing
that's the
heads.
thing.
Let's not
If
forget
it was
the grabbing
my
heads.
house, I'd start packing up everything that wasn't mine.
Phantasmagoria eBay quest. But
They
yeah,
don't really live
Quest
in this
for a
house.
better realtor.
They're just staying here.
I mean, I would stay here. I mean, I think that you kill Don and you're fine. you know, the rest of it is pretty good. But no, I was going to point out the hint system because you mentioned the puzzles. Seventh Guest did this really kind of clever thing where basically there was a book of hints, and it said, don't use them too much, otherwise bad things will happen.
Yes.
You know, and in fact they don't. It's a complete feint. But Phantasmagoria, you click on the guy on the left, like, I am the hint keeper. Click on me if you require assistance, but don't use me too often, or you'll spoil the game.
And they had to voice him. He's actually pretty solid as far as, you know,
He's
telling
the
you.
best voice in the game.
He's the
Yes.
best voice in the game, and he's not useful in the slightest because if you can't get through this game with your eyes closed, I mean, it is. I'll save that. There are a couple of tricky spots, which again revolve around some logic.
Well, I mean, this is sort of one of those sort of games where it's basically walk around the entire game walls until you find the thing that's changed.
Yeah, that's it.
And then-
For instance,
Or the thing that's
this
screaming
scene,
at you.
this scene I didn't really know was in the game until I played it for this playthrough. I've never seen this scene before, or I hadn't seen this scene before. So
Slimer, is that you?
there are a lot of
it's just a
things.
demon monster.
It's just baby goo.
There are
Yeah, that's the weird thing, Adrian.
there are a lot of scenes hiding on these discs. Phantasmagoria took up 7 CD-ROM discs. There are a lot of scenes hiding on these that I don't think many players have, seen unless they've played the game like a million times or whatever.
And what they all have in common is they're not scary.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is exactly one scary moment in this entire game, and it's a fucking cat scare.
Yes.
And it's a jump scare too.
That's what's
when I was playing it blind, that was the only thing that scared me throughout that entire playthrough.
I'm kind of worried about the cat now. It's like kind of the cat is coming at some point. The cat. Oh hi,
here it comes.
Hi demon. But the cat. That's the.
Here comes the Easter egg. So
toilet.
let's just appreciate this for what it is.
A moment
Call him
of
Mr.
silence.
Foley.
This also takes a frightening amount of time.
Phantasmagoria. It's a bit of a pisser.
Some relaxed sighing from Adrienne, who...
Yes, after a stop-starting.
Did she not
Okay.
watch
I
it?
just shat out Urban Runner.
That was... Oh, she took a French shit, yes. Also, it took me forever
Here
to
comes the
find
bride, sort of. Here comes.
It took me forever to find out where that music was coming from, because we just came out from the bathroom, and it doesn't... The music doesn't start until you walk down these stairs. However, if you walk around the entire house once again, you realize the music is coming from that old record player in the room.
It does sound like she just walked into a King's Quest game, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Mark Siebert just
intro
pulled that
as well.
Yeah, he just pulled that music out from some of the outtakes he had lying around from King's Quest V.
Girl in her own house.
Oh, I can tell you what
reaching
happened to your
out.
palace. Cedric.
And the first million times I played this, I also didn't know that you could turn off the record player, so you didn't have to listen to this music every time you went home. So the entire day would just be me listening to this stupid music as I wandered through the house.
You are not getting your quarter back.
I don't like you either.
Well among them.
Now this could refer to either the demon or the two garden gnomes.
The hobos.
Yeah.
I think it has to be the Garden Gnomes.
Yes.
I also think this is another case of the Zoltan machine being incredibly useless. Why do you say husband possessed by demon? If anybody asks, pretend I was vague.
Yes. I mean, there is, at some point, right at the end of the game, you go and check this thing, and it basically just says, get the fuck out of the house. Why aren't you listening to me? I've been very clear about this. And no, you haven't.
Booze, the solution to all of Adrian's problems.
Booze and Drain Cleaner, the Phantasmagoria story.
Yeah, and here we go for that drain cleaner. Oh, why did
just
you bother
exit
putting your
through
hand
this-
on the doorknob if someone opened it straight away?
I've
The
done that a
producer,
couple
everybody.
Was it really?
Sir,
Nah, I just that kind of like random.
clear a badly clogged drain. You know, a drain cleaner.
You know, like a drain cleaner?
I remember when I was young, we had drain cleaner once. Summer
think you might
25
want
it was.
Drano.
And I like
Just
how he
shortly
has,
after the drain cleaner was.
he has to think about it. Oh, wait, Drain Cleaner, Drain Cleaner. How does that... let me just scooch down here and pull this right out of my ass. Here's some Drain Cleaner for you.
Don't worry.
Ma'am,
The
I
thing
may,
is, it's
I
not
may
even drain
only
cleaner.
be...
It's hydrochloric acid. It's acid.
Said, Ma'am, I may only be the local store owner, but I'm going to milk this part like it was Bessie, my prize cow.
Also, that it looks like it's in a fucking milk carton. I mean, like you just
Yeah,
said,
it looks
Rizal,
like
it's
bleach.
hydrochloric acid. Jesus. Yes, we now are in possession of Drain Cleaner. We actually missed the whole bit at the start because we were rambling about something else. We missed the whole bit about why Dawn needs Drain Cleaner. It is, in fact,
To clean a drain.
well, to clean a drain,
Yeah.
yeah, technically, but the Drain Cleaner has since taken on mythical proportions for this game because he asks for Drain Cleaner so angrily, and it's such an innocuous item, which will come in handy later, of course, but
Have
yes.
you given it to him already? I don't see it down there.
No, see, the problem was I went to the store and I forgot to pick up that dollar bill that you just saw in the drawer, so I had to go all the way back.
Ah.
And that's when I realized I could turn off this fucking music.
My dear, drain cleaner don't grow on trees. You can't have it for free.
Oh, yes.
just
yes. Yes.
Oh no, I might have static charge. I'm back and I'm here for your drain cleaner.
Also, there is something wrong with that closed sign because it was upside down a minute ago, and now it is still. Anyway, now we're seriously into nitpicking territory. But hello, I'm just standing at attention. I should still like to buy that drain cleaner, but I have to wait for your waiting animation to finish.
Yes, I am interested in buying
Excuse
that
me,
Bob
Mr.
Drain
Rook
thing.
Garner from Under a
Yes, I
Killing
am
Moon.
interested.
Oh no, Rook Garner is much more handsome.
The job.
Yes, I know. You just showed it to me 10 minutes ago.
All right, then that'll be $4.75.
So I have a basic problem of video game protagonists not having cash on them already.
It drives me
Because-
nuts.
Yes.
It's like the average adventure game puzzle could be solved with 10 quid and a trip to B&Q. I just like kind of, you know, one screwdriver and basically 90% of your problems are over. It's like locked door, someone gets in your way, stab, stab, stab. It's basically almost nothing you can't do with it.
That kind of reminds me of Beneath the Steel Sky. The first inventory item you pick up is this metal bar, and it basically solves most of the puzzles in the game.
I just bought the old Carnivage estate. We're doing a little renovation.
That's also...
Now, if only someone was making a game where someone could use items laterally rather than single-itemly. I wonder who that could be.
Is someone doing that? Pray tell.
Yes.
That place.
Someone might be,
Have
and
you
someone
seen
also
it,
might
Adrian?
have. Someone might also be using currency in their game as well. Not microtransactions, but
Haunted.
the character already has money and then tries to get more across the game.
Well, I was always fond of Sam and Max. It's like cash, never leave home without it.
Yes.
You do have to pick it up first. It's in the mouse hole, but once you have it, you never run out.
Along with his wife.
But as opposed to you know, like Mystery of the Druids, where you have to poison a tramp in order to get to steal money to make a phone call.
That's just
Because
the most awful.
because your office phone has been cut off for you making too many personal calls to your mum, or you know, similar.
Well,
Also a good video
I
to go
never
check out,
understood
by
that
the way.
part of it, because who was he ringing? His mother complained he never rang her.
Well, maybe the pizza shop.
The pizza shop. Well,
However-
yes, I'd believe it being in a different country, because I think they said it was international calls he was
As a
making.
boy. How old is this
Maybe his
guy?
mother lives in a completely different country. We're now talking about a completely different game because the exposition scenes
Yes.
in this game are so fantastically boring.
Allow me to sum it up.
Say he used to live
There's
with
someone in the
Carla.
town who knows about your house. It's not you. That's kind of a problem.
Interesting.
Yes. We've now
Well,
had two
I
people,
just-
in fact, who said that to us, and we're about to meet a
Thanks,
third.
Well, I just love the opening. Why does everybody look weird when I say I bought the
Very
card of my
informative.
Well, you do
I'll
have
look into this
torture
now sometime.
equipment in your upstairs rooms.
Yes.
You're
a lot of
just
locked
sitting
still
doors.
works.
there.
Yes.
And I don't even mean the magic tricks. I mean, you've got like but that is a torture device.
Yes. Which I suppose would be a selling point. I mean, this...
Is this the scene I think it is? Oh no,
Oh,
it's Luann's.
God.
I thought you were going back to see the prostitute. I mean, Bob.
no.
He is a prostitute.
I don't really have much
No,
to
it's
do
the
with
antique dealer who never shuts up.
Richard has some sort of personal aversion to the antique shop owner. He's mentioned this a couple of times to me in private conversations.
It's that she
She's
never
amnesiac.
ends. This conversation is just like one long string of them like introducing each other again and again and again.
Well,
and
every
again.
time-
It's almost like days were supposed to happen between these conversations.
And they kind of were, but they do go on for a while, but then you could pretty much say that about any scene in this game. Like, there's a lot of her just standing around and doing nothing.
I know, but not quite if you look like a retired sex therapist. You know.
And her suspicious blue vase. And you know what really bothers me about this whole thing, this whole scene with the antiques dealer, is that she's an entirely optional character. The only reason she's in the game is because you can exchange something for a different item at her store. But if you don't do that, then the item that you
The
need
cameo
is
from the
still
cross,
readily
I believe,
available
yeah.
in the house. So
Meanwhile,
she's-
with a neck-cracking change of perspective.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, there's that 180-degree rule. Also, the perspective is a bit weird. It just seems like that room goes on for miles as well.
I'm Adrian Delaney.
It also sort of looks like it's kind of like a
See what
wedge.
I mean?
Yeah.
I was wondering if you
Hi,
could
I'm
tell
Adrian.
me-
We just met.
Your name was Adrian Delaney.
Oh,
Oh, I loved your books.
I'm in love with you.
Why do you ask?
This is where you should be slowly edging towards the door, Adrian.
I couldn't put it
Yeah.
down for a week.
Smash the duck on the
You're
way.
the best writer since Alan Wake or maybe Gabriel Knight.
I couldn't put your book down for a week. It was physically glued to my hands.
See, she needs to have a book by the Blake. Was it the Blake Backslash?
Blake
What was-
Backlash.
Blake Backlash.
Blake was the character, but he wrote it
Yeah.
himself.
I do for you, Adrian.
Yeah, but
What is it with Sierra and having shitty writers as protagonists?
I know everything that goes on around.
Write what you know, I guess.
I know you're the one
Yeah,
who bought
well.
the old Carnivore estate.
This is why I like Space Quest. It's basically just, no one gives a fuck about you, but he always carries money. Every game, well, at least 3 and 4.
Except Space Quest 6.
Yeah, Space Quest. Well, he
You carry a
got
fish
kind
in
of
Space Quest 6.
Yeah, and in Space Quest 1 you don't. Well, you
Well,
only.
you get some.
Yeah,
Well, you get
you-
the,
oh, wait.
you get the vouchers, see.
Yeah, you start with some
It's a
money.
cross.
Anyway, there's the inventory item that you're supposed to get, but you don't need it.
if only you had a cameo.
Oh, I'm Adrian.
Crucifix in the display case over there.
I want it.
I was wondering how much you're asking.
Very
for
nice
it.
to meet you. Hi.
Lovely piece, isn't it?
No, it
And
really
you
isn't.
are.
I love the scenes that here in Stu showing, not telling.
Particular crucifix.
And by that I mean
Terribly
never ending.
old. Only from the early 19th
And you'll
century.
be pleased to know that as the series goes on, we will interact more with the antiques dealer, and because of course they have to make the provision that the player hasn't met her in any of the previous chapters. So each of those conversations also start with, "Hi, I'm Adrian."
But you can basically like do them all
variable.
in one go, and it completely breaks it.
So, how much?
As
They
it-
just needed one variable that said, "Have they met?"
Rarity.
Yeah. I think the
If
problem.
the answer is yes, don't play the first bit.
This-
Also, didn't she just say that basically this crucifix is a piece of very modern crap? How much is it? Oh well, given its rarity.
Case, call me if you need any further assistance.
Call me if you need me as I touch you.
Stop touching, please.
These antiques, I know.
We've
Now-
only just met and I will touch you.
Now this actually does set up, I think, a great mood. We have to give the game props where it deserved, and I think the framing is for once pretty good. It's got that kind of menacing feel, and I like the music in the background. It's just a saw wave,
Somebody in
like
here?
Mark Siebert fell asleep on the bottom half of his keyboard, and
Well, it does almost literally sound like someone snoring.
yes, but we are about to we're about to have our
feeling
first
tense.
jump scare.
I'm feeling
Yes.
tense.
So I think didn't they put this bit in the trailer because it is, well, first of all, she paces forever before actually investigating the thing I clicked
Jump
on.
scare. Hello. Jump scare.
Are you in here?
Gee,
Sorry?
jumpy jump scare.
Come on.
Slimer, is that you? Seaman baby.
Director? Anyone?
Ah!
Line? Oh well, didn't want a jump scare anyway.
Oh no,
So
vagrants.
Now this, what infuriates me
I don't
about
find that
Phantasmagoria,
anybody would just lean over 90 degrees to.
but
Ah!
well, that was not the jump scare we were looking for, but it works.
No.
Kind of. Anyway, why is he also out and about? Didn't he sequester himself?
I have pulled back my hair so you know I'm serious.
He does
Have
a
you
full
been
Jack
cooking
Nicholson.
out here, Adrian?
Yes, honestly, what in the shit? Now, what I was going to say was, what infuriates me really about Phantasmagoria is that it sets up some really good scenes. Like, you walk in to your barn and you see that other people are living here. Who are these people? And that kind of plants an idea in your brain, and you go, okay, that's interesting. That's going to be interesting.
Don, don't.
Of course, we all know it's not going to be, but what infuriates me is that it has some good ideas that it then decides to piss away, and then it comes up with more
Yeah,
good ideas,
I mean,
and then pisses them away.
this is sort of my problem with Phantasmagoria.
He's such
and we'll
like
get
a
to the
tantruming
big.
child.
Yeah, he
We'll
does.
get to the big one really soon, but the Roberta, kind of the other whoever designed different bits, clearly has no concept of how horror works, and so what you kind of get is like all of these borrowed bits, which technically you can sort of see how someone thought they were scary, but then they don't ever actually kind of coalesce into anything.
It has a sort of off-Broadway, way off-Broadway kind of feel to it. There it was. I kind of ruined the jump scare.
And that is the most terrifying moment of the entire game.
What a nice kitty.
Actually is.
Don't do that.
Oh,
Such a cute kitty.
for once, that cat actually seems to want to be there. Or she's just holding it really, really tight.
Well, you know why? Don's not here.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
Oh!
She just threw it. I know,
Yeah,
don't work with
I've
cats
had
and
enough of
animals
this.
and all that, but she just
Fuck.
basically threw it.
Fuck this, I'm off to be in Temujin.
Okay,
Now
so
there's
this
a deep dive for you.
this is actually one of the few effective scenes in the game. Now, of course, we have to keep your interest peaked, so please stick around for at least episode 7. 7 is where it gets really interesting.
I just want to give you a drain
Episode
cleaner.
7.
What do you want? I'm busy.
Oh, Don.
Here's Johnny?
Remember when we used to be married?
Come on,
Also, I
Don,
really
get
wanted
the
to give him the
you
drain
were
cleaner,
ready to
but
cheese.
he just had to stare me
Yeah.
down for what seemed like
Thanks.
hours, and then she automatically hands it over.
Darn,
Fine.
this door doesn't seem to be fitted very well.
Honey,
Also,
are
you seem
doing
to be
all right?
phasing through the
Need
door.
your
I
Are
mean-
you alright, honey?
Adrian, leave me alone.
You
I'm
were only
fine.
kind of peeking through a second ago, but now it's clearly
Well,
wide open.
How about a little dinner? You could come
Also,
downstairs and help
as far
me.
as character development,
Make a little
if we had sort of a gradual
some salad,
descent
maybe a
into insanity,
Yeah,
I
sounds
think
great.
that would have worked a lot better. But yes, see, he just
I mean-
flips from loving husband with kind of crazy eyes to full-on batshit misogynist asshole in
And,
a
and
single
again,
night.
you don't see enough of him actually being like the good husband.
No,
And I think that's kind of what I think that's one of the big points in that they're trying to kind of go for this whole our perfect relationship kind of collapses, but then literally all you see him doing is fixing a sink. And there's like that one scene where she sort of turns the water on, you kind of goes, "Oh, you." And
husband of the year.
and obviously there's all the sex scene in the intro, but you kind of need that sort of sense of like dying by degrees, or him actually doing something. And obviously there is the scene which is coming up, but I mean until that point he pretty much just sits there fixing the drain and like making his darkroom, and it just feels like he might just have a headache.
yes, and a really,
I mean,
really bad headache.
it's only
and a bad
because
personality.
we've seen Slimer that he kind of comes across as being particularly douchey. I mean he's very douchey, but I mean in terms of like he's not always like this. It's only because of the Slimer scene.
And the only reason we know he's a good guy is because we have the scene with the snowman in the beginning. So,
And the photograph later of them in the pond going,
which is right at the end. Anyway, the episode is finished. Thank you so much for watching this. We promise the game will get exciting at some point. We are literally buying time until the action takes place. But anyway, if you watched this far, thank you so much for doing so. Please like, subscribe, do whatever you kids do. Do leave us a comment. We really, really love the comments. So, on behalf of my two co-conspirators, thank you so much, and we will see you around the Chrono Stream.